Welcome, Dr. Sati. Today we are talking about a wonderful system, a therapeutic system, which is mainly for the self-help and for taking responsibility of our own health. This system was developed by Dr. Edward Bach of England. Although he completed his research and established this system way back in 1950s, yet this system is new in India. And as far as my knowledge goes, it is not even known in Rajasthan or Jodhpur. I myself had the idea of this backflow remedy system 3 to 4 years back. And since I was interested in complementary therapy systems like biochemistry, homeopathy, Ayurveda, even the Sujok and the acupressure, I got interested to know about this system, which is popularly called as BFR or backflow remedy system. And I found very interesting in the sense that it was very simple to use. It had only 38 remedies, out of which 37 are made from flowers. One is rock water. And there is no question of any kind of potency, although people believe that this is a branch of homeopathy. But in fact, this is not a branch of homeopathy, because homeopathy is a vast ocean and there is an addition of new remedies every day in homeopathy. Here in case of backflow remedy, Dr. Edward Bach has divided 38 remedies and then he drawn the line that there would not be any addition now. 38 will remain 38. And that he calls as the simplicity and the purity of the system. Further, there is no involvement of any kind of potency. Thirdly, in homeopathy, we are not supposed to eat or take anything. But in case of backflow remedies, there is no such restriction. Even we can add this remedy drops in our tea, coffee, milk or fruit juices, whatever we like. Then, most importantly, this remedy system does not interfere with your ongoing treatment. That is the mainstream therapy system, whatever the medicines for your blood pressure or sugar or whatever the doctor, your physician or your Vaidya or your homeopath has prescribed. You can continue the backflow remedy with your ongoing treatment. And I particularly find this system is very important. That even a person who is extremely healthy, not having any kind of disease per se, can have or rather should have this backflow remedy for his day-to-day strengthening of health. For betterment of, if you are healthy, it will make you healthier in that sense. So, this is in various ways. It's a unique system and we will know about this system and during our conversation if there are questions. Presently, I would say that this backflow remedy system is a system of 38 remedies, out of which 37 are flowers and one is rock water. It is based on the principle that the disease is a manifestation of some emotional upcoming in our day-to-day life, and therefore the disease is an indicator that where we have to balance. So Dr. Batch said somewhere written that disease is sometimes good, that it indicates the point of balance which we require in our life. In that way, and how and why did I adopt this system? Because this is extremely safe. It is just like a nanny's, a granny's recipe from the kitchen.
Absolutely.
That we use hing or we use some churan if there is indigestion, or amrit dhara we keep in our home. And whatever sometimes self-help we all do, it is not always that we every time we run to the doctor. I personally feel that this backflow remedy reduces your running to doctor to a very great extent. To a very great extent. Our consultation to physician or allopathy or Ayurvedic it is reduced to a very great extent. In our day-to-day life, we definitely have various kind of emotions and feelings, and they affect our life, which we do not bother. But when they aggravate, there is a disease and we have to go to a doctor. But if we can balance the emotion, if we can identify the emotion, then certainly our consultation with a physician or allopath will be greatly reduced. This is extremely safe because the production or the preparation of the remedy is firstly that they collect the dew drops settled on the petals, or they just put it in sunlight for warming, and the exudation they ooze out in the water. This is known as the essence. And and from this essence we take 2 drops and put in 30 ml water. Extremely dilute floral essences. No question of any side effect. I am using this remedy for last 3 years. And I have not seen any kind of side effect in any of my persons who I have given these remedies. Yet, sometimes what happens that if some person's emotions are much complicated and in a web of emotion, then there is certain kind of a readjustment in emotions. In that case, he or she may feel certain unpleasant feelings, but these are not side effects. They go away at their own, or we can handle them through BFR also. With this assurance, I did a L1 level 1 course in which I was said to use this remedy first upon myself for about 1 month.
Correct, in order to know it better.
So that you can be assured that these are harmless. Whatever remedy you take, either it will benefit you or there will not be any effect. There is a common saying that only side effect is that it has no effect. So, looking to this kind of safety and the potential in the health improvisation of person, I did L1 at Delhi, and the course was certified from UK. Then I did my level 2 at Chennai. Again, the course was certified. Now this is the final level, after which I would like to be a BFRP, the Best Flower Remedy registered practitioner. They tell it very clearly also that we should understand that we are not doctors, neither we are psychiatrists. We are healers. We are helping and supporting. And also in L3, we have been given an additional role of educator. That not only that every time the person should come to us to be a BFRP, he should be empowered to treat himself, take responsibility his or her own health. So with that purpose, I am thankful to you that you volunteered and offered your coming here for this videography, which ultimately go to my trainer, Madam Angela Davies. And in that case, with the expression of my gratitude to you, now I may ask you that what are the specific reasons for which you are here to receive help from Bachelor Remedy System?
Yeah. Before I come to my problem, let me introduce myself. I am Vinod Sati and I am working as a chief producer with one of the government institutions working for higher education. And we are dealing with a lot of experts who come. I listened to you very carefully and I come to few queries which are really very important for me. But before I come to those queries, let me tell you what are my problems. Why did I come here for my remedy? The word that you used was remedy. So why I have come here? You see, I am suffering from prostate problems since last almost about 7 years. And what happened was I had piles before I came to know that I am suffering of prostate. In fact, I went for my operation for the piles. When I was in the hospital, they did the operation, then they put some gauze inside. And after that, my urine stopped. I had to pass through a very bad phase, almost about 2 months. I was carrying the bag with me and I faced real trouble because there was office work also, there was work, there was physical problem also. But anyhow, somehow I managed that show. And I came to know that there is some remedy, the word remedy that you say, in BFR. So do you suggest some remedy in this?
Yes, Dr. Sati, it is very important to understand in the beginning that in Bachelor remedy, we of course note down the physical issues or the names of the diseases with the allopaths or the physicians they prescribed. But here we do not treat the disease by name itself. For example, there is no cure for prostate as such, because here, like homeopathy, there is a similarity that here we treat a person, not a disease. A person has a specific emotional reason out of which that disease has come out.
Occurred. Yes.
And after that, the disease has been identified and diagnosed, every person will react to that situation in his or her own way. There is a different and independent emotional sets through which he or she would react to his diagnosis, whatever the diagnosis may be, from as simple to very complex. Even there are persons who will not be afraid of if they are diagnosed with cancer. They will say, no, I will fight it. And there are persons who will like to die after hearing this. There are different kind of emotions, you know it very well, because
Yes.
you are interacting with various kinds of people.
Yes.
So let us understand at the outset that in Bachelor remedy, the allopathic description of a disease carry no weightage. Carry no weightage. While describing your situation, whatever you expressed, which will carry some weightage, and now while you will be responding to my question, can you be elaborate specifically regarding your feeling and emotions?
Yes. You want me to express it?
Yeah. So now my question is that you said that 7 years before this situation occurred,
Yes.
after your piles were diagnosed and
Yes.
it was treated,
Yes.
and it somehow came to be a bad outcome of
Yes.
the piles.
Yes.
We will go to that later. What is more important that right now, what are your feelings? What are your circumstances at home? What are your circumstances in office? What are the related feelings right now?
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay, see, in home, if I start with home, my father is suffering with some problem. Basically, it's the chest cancer, and most of our attention is devoted into his treatment. So most of my time goes in looking after him at home, and otherwise, daily course, whatever work we have, we carry out those things. Me and my wife looking after my father and my mother. They are here. At office, yes, of course, there are whatever workloads are there, we have to conduct them. We carry on. My day starts at about 5 o'clock in the morning. I go for my walk, do my yoga, and then I come back, start with all water. I have a small garden. I look after my garden, and then after my wash and everything, we all sit down for a cup of tea. After that, I and my wife go into kitchen and work for whole whatever we have to, and then after my meal I go to my office at about 10:30. I leave for office. At office we have some work of making programs. There are some loads from head office constantly asking for details about programs. All those details are to be sent to them. Then 5 o'clock I come back from office, sit down with parents, look after them. Whenever we have to take to doctor, we take them to doctor. All small problems keep coming up because after surgery, post-surgery, there are a lot of problems that keep up. We look after all of his welfare. That is what is kind of my daily routine.
When your father was diagnosed with this chest cancer,
Yeah, it happened about 1.5 months back. I was at Delhi driving my own car when I received a phone call from my father saying that I'm suffering from cancer. Now, please come immediately and tell me what should I do. So I was in my car. I said, all right. I turned back immediately. I had to come to Jodhpur. Rather, I went to the other side to fetch my father. I went to Haldwani. I went there, took my father. Next day morning, I brought him here because at Jodhpur there is AIMS. So it was about 1.5 months before when I received his call, and I went there to take my father.
during in this 1.5 months, you are totally being devoted to the treatment.
Absolutely.
Of
My first priority is this. All other priorities are put in the secondary stage.
Now, as you heard that your father is suffering from this kind of a dreadful disease, what were your feelings and emotions?
Yeah, because cancer is some kind of a... No, he did not say word cancer. He said, I have a lump in my chest. And when you hear a word lump in the chest, immediately it comes to cancer. Okay, and when somebody says with such a panicky voice, it becomes very evident that yes, this has something to do with cancer. So it was not sure because he had done his test, and the test it was said that there is a possibility of cancer. So when I heard it, it really did give me a push that yes, something wrong. So you can immediately understand when I turned back my car immediately, that tells that it really put me under pressure that yes, something wrong has happened, I must go back. So I went immediately back.
Can we use the word at that moment that you experienced the kind of a shock?
It was, you can use this word shock. This was my responsibility to look after my father, my mother, my brother, and it did take a lot of efforts and energies from me. And till date, I'm telling you, it's within you and me. It's not to be told to others, but this is between you and me that I have taken a lot of pains to keep everybody happy. Nobody should get distressed, or nobody should get. This was my responsibility. And then there was one more additional responsibility. If something happens to my father in this whole process, who will be responsible? It happened with me. I was standing when his biopsy was happening. I was standing with him, and the doctors were taking. When all of a sudden they made some face with, they exchanged some face expression. I thought something wrong has happened. And when that hit me, I immediately, the next thought to me was that I think something wrong has happened. And now, what will I tell my people if something happens to him? What will I? It was a small biopsy, but I don't know about the whole process, but I felt that. And then I came out because I started feeling uneasy. I came out immediately out of that biopsy room, and I sat on the chair, sent my assistant to, you go and look after him, I can't. I'll just sit down. So there were few setbacks which must have had, the way you said, emotion and emotional feelings. Maybe those emotional feelings, not today, but maybe tomorrow, it may have some impact. So what you said, remedy BFR, R stands for remedy. So when you say remedy, I also would like to get if some remedy is there, because you say remedy, you are using the word remedy. So yeah, that was the whole story I'm telling you.
Yeah, thank you. You are very nicely and very openly. You have shared your feelings and whatever is happening right now. And this will greatly help us together.
Absolutely.
Because we are here together.
Absolutely, we are here to...
Because you are helping me to select your remedy.
Yes, yes.
And I will be helping you to select your remedy.
Yes, yes.
So this
I'm here for absolutely. I'm here to get myself helped.
This is the very purpose
absolutely.
of the BFR consultation.
Yes.
So, do you nowadays, because I personally know you also, you are a very active and energetic person. But now in this, during this 1.5 month period, do you feel exhausted, tired?
I do. Sometimes in the evening, I do feel exhausted and tired. But again, the way you said should not be shown to everybody. So unless the day is over and on the bed, till that time, it should not be shown. And
yet you are very strict to your...
I stick to my schedule. No, I have not changed my schedule. I've still...
There is no Monday morning.
There's no Sunday morning. There's no Sunday morning. I do it.
You do it?
Yes. Yes.
It's a great thing. It's wonderful. Now, in this connection, there is a kind of a shock which we initially express.
Yes.
We experience.
Yes.
Then it converts into a kind of a disappointment.
Yes.
That's what is happening around. Then a state comes that is a feeling that we can describe as hopelessness, that now everything is lost, nothing will be there. And a state that is an ultimate despair, that now what can be done? Out of these feelings, can you pinpoint that after that shock? I understand that when you heard about your father, it was a brief shock, but you immediately tried to control the scenario, you discussed with your friends and you decided your course of action. You took advice from your friends, all right, it's a good thing.
Yes.
And but you did not lose the control, and you decided your course of action.
Yes.
And you proceeded in the direction which you think or you thought that is the most appropriate direction.
Yes. Yes. My friend helped me.
Yeah. So now, in this period, it is. I understand that disappointment is very natural. It's a kind of that why this has happened, why it should not happen, it would have been better. But is there any further degree of hopelessness or despair?
No,
No.
I don't think, because what happens is after a whole day long efforts and work and whatever it is, after you get tired by evening, the happy faces of the family makes you happy. What I feel is, if they are all happy,
Yes.
good enough, then everything is good. All efforts, whatever tiredness, whatever does not hamper my whole existence. It does not hamper my existence.
And what I see that in that scenario, we should greatly appreciate the role of your father.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know him very well.
Yeah,
You see, that is what point you have raised is very good, because he knows because he has passed through all those phases. He knows what all phases happen during all these stages. So he encourages. I know he must be facing a lot of problems because he's passing through that surgery phase. But he encourages. He helps us to get out of this situation. No, everything is fine. No, everything is good. You do your work. All that kind of things help us in our
Yeah.
total functioning. If he also says, no, I am not well, then it would have been bad.
So you can appreciate the specific emotional qualities of your father.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you cannot expect from everyone to be like that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is why the back plurality, because it will treat individually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I happen to talk to your father and provide, not, as I said, not for treating the cancer, but for supporting his psychological setup.
Yes.
In that case, I will note these characters.
Correct.
And if there is a person who has gone down, I will note that character.
Yeah. But he is not down.
Yeah.
He is not.
Yes.
Yes, and he's taking, see what happened today morning. I'll tell you what happened today morning.
Yeah.
He's taking hormonal therapy, because after the surgery and after all your antibiotics, they start giving hormone therapy. He has started hormone therapy since last 7-8 days. And after hormone therapy, he is regularly taking his medicines to, whenever you know it, that whenever you take hormone therapy, there are some changes in the hormones and body starts reacting to those hormones. Today was the first hit he received after that hormone therapy. He had sweating. He was sweating, and he was not well, dizziness, and then he sat down. The first burst of that feeling came up today. Even we were also worried. What has happened? It's something. Then we read about it. Came to know that after hormonal therapy, this all things happen. So that happened to him. Still, he's happy. He's good. He's very nice, very fit. Very fit. We told him that this is what has happened. It will happen, and you must get accustomed to all these things. He's happy.
I will definitely come down to meet him.
Please, you must. Please do.
Definitely give him a support.
Bilkul,
Because he is already a very strong person.
He's a strong person.
And we want to make him
He's
strong.
a retired army man. He has fought 1965 war. And he is really strong. He told to his doctors that I am giving my body to you. You do whatever you want. But once I am out of operation theatre, I'll ask you what you have done. So that is good of him. At the age of 84, 86.
It is a different set of mind.
Yeah, different set of mind.
Dr. Satish, so far you have very elaborately and nicely conveyed your story. Now we would like to check upon some of the more emotions which you are experiencing right now, or you may have experienced in past, because there is a continuum. First of all, I would like to know that it is very natural that you get concerned about the father's health. But I would like to know that whether it is the part of your nature that you always get worried about your loved ones. For example, if your son or daughter is late, do you get worried? Or
Yes? Yes. This is in my nature.
That is in your
This
nature.
is in my nature.
That is in your nature, yes. That is the important point. I wanted to check.
Yes, this is in my nature that
Yes.
I always get disturbed if something happens.
Yes.
I always get disturbed.
Yes.
And also one more thing,
Yeah.
I become very proactive. I become active after all these things happen. I start behaving in a very, very active manner.
Yeah.
So even that is one thing that worries me. Many times people say that don't be so active, don't be so active, have patience, don't get
Maybe that we can use the word panic.
panic. Yes, you may use the word panic. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. This is in my nature.
Yeah. Because in panic we do many hectic
Yes,
things.
yes. And in that panicky state, I may do some mistakes also.
Yeah.
So that is there in my habit.
Yes.
And not since now, but it's quite long. I have been like this.
That's right. That is we are trying to explore.
Yes.
So, in that state, particularly when you get active, or do you feel yourself frozen that you can't do anything, or you become more active and do many things?
No.
Yeah.
What happens is at that particular stage, there is a blankness in my mind. And if I am searching something, if I'm finding out something, that even if it is in my hand, even if it is there, I can't find it. It takes more time for me to handle the situation. So that is one kind of a thing that happens very, very often with me.
Although for many people of your friends, like I also know you are very calm and composed, but there are many aspects and dimensions of personality that I like this part. Do you think that the situation get out of control under those circumstances?
Not exactly out of control.
Yeah.
I would not say out of control.
Yeah.
But for that particular moment,
Yeah.
till I don't get over that situation, I happen to behave in a very different manner. It's not that my normal conditioning of mind. It's a different conditioning of mind.
Correct. Right. But now in this stage, your behavior with the family member and the behavior with colleagues in the office, has it changed somewhat, or is it as it was earlier?
My behavior towards my colleagues.
Yeah.
I think it has had some impact on my behavior. What I was free, open, discussing things, that I am not. If I compare the two stages, I find there is a difference in what I was earlier. But that is a very minor difference, which I think I only can feel.
You can.
Only I can feel that yes, I am behaving abnormal. My colleagues may not notice it, but I notice that yes, there's something abnormal happening.
So we cannot say that it is your irritability has enhanced, or you have become intolerant toward the deficiencies of
Not
other-
exactly, but it has had some impact on my brain.
That's
It does,
right.
yes.
That's right, yes.
Yes, that situation has
That's right.
created some impact.
I wish to be very specific. You are supposed to conduct various kind of administrative jobs
Yes,
in your day
yes,
to day,
yes.
and there are many opinions. In that case, what was earlier and what is now, or what is your basic nature, that once you have taken a stand, would you pursue it, or you listen to others and accommodate?
You see, there's a tendency in me that when I take a decision, I will always stand with my decision.
Yes.
Unless there is some very heavy thing which stops me. And I would try and make it sure that my stand is accepted. If it is not accepted, it may create some irritability to me.
Yeah.
And then I may again start behaving not the normal way I do. So there are certain occasions where I have done. So I do believe that yes, I have that tendency that I stick to my decisions.
Yes. Well said, Dr. Sati. And now it is apparent that you take your own decisions.
Yes.
And most of the time you may not need the advisory support in taking your decisions.
I don't agree with this because what I do, I have made up my mind, but then I would ask many people whether it is right or wrong.
You ask.
I do ask people.
Yeah.
But then I know there are many versions coming.
Yeah.
Most of the time, what happens is the versions they come, they are according to me. Most of the times they are not. When they are not, I try to weigh them
Yeah.
and then take a decision accordingly, although I stick to my decisions.
Yeah. Yes.
But I would make some modifications in those decisions and make it according to others also. I do take others' opinion.
In our day-to-day life, we are supposed to take help from others as well as helping others in our family life or in our social life or in our official life. Now, how would you say about yourself that when you help someone, do you expect a return for that help?
Instantly I don't.
Yeah.
But situations may occur when all of a sudden I find whom can I contact for this work. Then I realize, oh yes, I can talk to him. But instantly when I am helping somebody, I don't have anything in my mind.
Yeah.
Absolute zero. If I have to work for somebody, okay, good, go ahead, do it. There's nothing to stop me.
Right.
But then later on, suppose I have some work, then some people, I do talk to them that if some help can be extended.
But you are not that kind of a person that if the responses are not readily given, you mind that or you think that the response is not proper. I had done so much for him and
I think it is not there
it is not.
because I don't mind these things.
Yeah.
I never mind these things. Somebody says no, I feel that yes, maybe some circumstances there which are stopping him from doing. Otherwise, I don't think that way.
And in our decision making, usually there are many options that you go for this, you go for this, you decide like this. Do you have some problem in decision making, especially when there are two options, very clear cut two options?
Yes.
Yes.
I will. I will accept your whatever you're saying. I accept.
I'm asking.
That. I do have difficulty in opting for any one of
So
them.
because here you will also agree that these questions will trying to help you to understand your
Yes,
own nature.
I am also trying to give you very honest answers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you honest answers.
Yes, right. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, Dr. Sati, as far as your present state is concerned, we are almost through. Now I would like to probe into that part, which is actually, in my opinion, is the source of your this urinary prostate problem.
Prostate problem.
You said that it occurred about 6 years back.
Yes, 2015.
Yes,
Yes.
6 years back.
2015.
And it occurred because of the result of some operation of piles,
Yes, absolutely.
which I remember.
Yes.
And after that, this prostate issue has developed.
Yes.
Although it's now an old matter, but can you recall what could be the situation at that time, 6 years before? Especially why the piles, when piles appeared?
You see,
What happened?
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I started my career in 1990.
Yeah.
Sorry. At that time, we had a director who was very hard taskmaster, and he used to keep us working. We used to work almost about 18 hours. Even sometimes it used to be 48 hours sitting in one chair. And that was the time that we were working very hard. 97 he retired. That was the time when I developed my piles. First I noticed it was in 96, 97 when I noticed that the piles had come up. It was difficult to accept that it is piles. Then somebody said, don't sit on this chair. I went to a doctor, homeopathic doctor. He treated it. Blood stopped coming. And then sometimes it used to reoccur. Again, I used to go to same homeopathic doctor. But I think those were the days when there was a lot of pressure, work pressure, a lot of pressure, mental pressure, because after doing work there was no satisfaction. People used to criticize the programs, used to tell you this is wrong, that is wrong. So all those things had an impact on my brain. Could be that was the reason why I had, but it did happen. That was one of the reasons. And sitting constantly for quite long, that is what is being told to me by my doctor, that you have been sitting long. That was one of the reasons for piles. Okay, mental status was that there was a tremendous pressure, work pressure. There was a tremendous pressure of time pressure, because you have to deliver goods within that time limit. And then there was a lot of pressure for getting experts, making programs, doing shootings, doing editing, getting everything done. And then on top of it, after all that work, there was a lot of criticism of those programs. Which, when you have your own baby being criticized, what you feel, that is what we used to feel those days. I don't. That was my mental status. Physical, I told I used to sit.
That's very important. Yes.
That was the status when piles occurred. Then by 2015, when I went for operation, I thought before I get too old, I must get it operated. Otherwise, maybe in the old age, it creates more problems. So I thought, yes, I am around 45. I am 45, 50. I must get it operated. Otherwise, it will be too late. I went to doctor and got it operated. But that was the time when prostate, I noticed that there's a prostate problem also. So this was my mental status.
This is actually, I can very well understand.
Then there was some more thing I'd like to share with you, because you are dealing with my mental status. 2008, 9, 10 or 6 to 10, I was working for some private company. And at that point of time also there was tremendous pressure. There was tremendous pressure, work pressure, because 72 hours constantly I had to sit on one chair, doing those works, completing those works, and finishing everything to be finished in time frame. There was a lot of pressure those 4 years was a real tremendous pressure. So even that, I'm talking to you about my pressure. Yes. So 2 times there was a pressure from 90 to 97, then from 2006 to 2010. These were the periods when I had a tremendous mental pressure.
Obviously. Now, one thing is very apparent, that during that time, you did not rest in between. You did not take rest in between your working hours.
Yes. I had other projects also at home. I had 4 children who were doing their studies, their engineering. For some children from outside had come, and they were staying with me.
You avoided or you neglected the importance of rest.
Could be.
Yes.
Yes. Today I realize.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is there.
Yes, it was.
You continue to work.
Yes, it was continuous work.
Continuous to work. So, I think this is one of the reasons. And secondly, which you are saying in a way that your work were not, because you were young and you started your work, and your baby or the output you were giving were not appreciated like that, rather they were criticized.
Yes.
Would you say that you continued to work despite that you wanted to say no, but you could not say?
See, what happened was,
Yeah.
I agree with you, but what happened was, there was also a problem in the office,
Yeah.
that there was another section of people who were putting tremendous pressure on the production people by putting all these things on newspapers. They were creating pressures by putting these things on newspapers. There was a mental pressure. They were criticizing us in newspapers without any reasons. There were no reasons, but they created their stories and did all those things. Even that was also creating a. So even if I wanted to say no, I could not,
You could not.
because there was the other party which was ready to grab the things. If I say no, they were ready to take it up.
Oh,
So wantingly, I could not.
you could not say.
I could not.
Yeah. These two things are very important, that at that stage you worked very hard, continuously, avoiding the importance of rest, taking in between, and even taking rest and then again started work. It could have been
Yes,
more logical.
could have been
Logical
different.
way,
Yes,
yeah, could have been better.
absolutely.
And whatever the reason, you many times did not like that this work should be done, but you could not say no.
Yes,
These two things
yes,
are
yes,
very important
yes.
from this point of view. And now, I think that most of the part of your emotional profile we are through. Do you ever feel any kind of loneliness?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah. Then any kind of fear?
Fear. I don't think there is any fear.
Yeah.
Even if I go back,
Yeah.
no, there's no fear.
In
Neither.
present circumstances about father's sickness.
No, that's not fear. That's
Yeah,
not
that-
fear,
yeah.
basically. That is, you see, getting concerned about somebody's health, but it's not fear.
Not
It's not fear. There was one occasion when I started fearing, when I was there during the test of my father, and the way doctors were handling him, I felt fearful, because I thought that something wrong is happening. Something wrong in the sense that the doctors were looking at each other's face, and they were very susceptible. I thought something wrong. So I felt fearful. I came out of that room and sent somebody else into the room that please look into the things. I can't handle it.
So, Dr. Sati, thank you very much for your wonderful conversation and sharing your story as well as your emotional state, which has given me an indications of certain emotional profile, on the basis of which I have selected 7 remedies.
Yes.
And now I will discuss with you the emotion and the 7 remedies. And you please feel free to approve of the emotion and the remedy.
Yes.
And if you think that it is not that important, we can change also.
Yes.
I once again reiterate that in backflow remedy, we consider that balancing of a particular emotion leads to the cure of the disease. The physical description of disease is not important. It is a manifestation of some kind of emotional disturbance. And first here is, which I think that is the shock which you experienced after listening about your sickness of your father.
Yes, exactly.
And for that, there is a remedy which we call Star of Bethlehem. In short, it is called SOB, Star of Bethlehem.
Yes.
The second character which appears to be your personality trait, that you are a very disciplined person and you sacrifice your many personal pleasures for the sake of discipline.
Yes. Yes.
And for that, I may here point out that in black flower remedy, no emotion is good or bad. What we try to identify, which emotion is causing you problem.
Yes.
Otherwise, every emotion is required, discipline is required,
Yes.
but it might cause you the issues which you are experiencing.
Yes.
So we would like to balance it. So please don't take in that perspective that it is being labeled as good or bad. No, it is not good or bad. Only thing that we think that out of our conversation, this emotion has led to the issue which you are experiencing.
Yes. Yes.
Then you are experiencing a kind of a physical and mental fatigue,
Yes.
for which the remedy is olive.
Okay.
Olive.
Okay.
So for that pressure of work which you always experience, the remedy is elm.
Okay.
And again, there is a personality trait that you get panicky about the well-being of your loved
Yes.
ones,
Yes.
and you are always worried, overcared,
Yes.
overcaring, and that is red chestnut is the remedy for that.
Okay. Okay.
For pursuing your point of view in decision making, his remedy is vervain.
Okay.
Vervain. And for that kind of an irritability and intolerance, which might appear because of the sickness of father or because of the work pressure
Yes.
or
Yes.
because whatever,
Yes. Yes.
the remedy is beech.
Okay.
All these remedies are floral essences, and I will just prepare a personal mix for you of these 7 remedies, which you will consume 4 drops 4 times a day for 3 weeks. And although we will keep on talking every week, and the proper review of this situation will be done after 3 weeks.
Okay. All right.
So,
Yes.
and in review, we will assess that how much progress you have made in your solution of physical issues, as well as most importantly, you will feel an inner change in yourself. If the remedies tells their story,
Good.
yes,
Good.
you will be able to experience
Very good.
and you will be able to share. Yes.
Good.
So in that review, we would like to point out that which emotion is yet to be
Yes.
handled and
Yes.
what new emotions can be
Can
taken.
be handled. Absolutely.
Yes.
Mhm.
Thank you. Very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. A.K. Purohit, thank you very much.